Scott. All right, Bill Romanowski, let me throw a tough one at you because I know you're the type of guy, you're never going to bite your tongue. You give your honest opinion. Did Derek Carr regress in the second half of the season?
You could definitely say that. I think it started with the Kansas City game a few weeks ago at home where you're winning in the football game going into the fourth quarter and he throws 3 costly interceptions. This is a guy who played really well. He's the reason why they were 7-9 this year, but he's also the reason they didn't make the playoffs this year. So positive that he played well, but he has to play better in the next years to come to get to that elite level, because you cannot throw interceptions at costly times and win games in the National Football League.
You said costly times.
Yes.
And that's not just in the fourth quarter, but it's where he's throwing the interceptions. He threw another interception in the red zone today, going for Amari Cooper.
Yep.
Is it because he wants it all? We know he had an issue earlier this year. He wanted to do it all by himself. But what is it going to take to convince him this is a good throw, this is a very bad throw at this moment?
Well, that's something he's just going to have to learn from. And, a lot of people will say, hey, do quarterbacks learn from their mistakes? Well, sometimes they do. His brother didn't learn from getting sacked more than any quarterback in history his first year. So bottom line is you got to go out there and do it. But when you look at him here, those are impressive numbers. But to me, it's about wins, Henry. And it's about playoff games and moving your team to the playoffs. I think he's got a bright future ahead of him, but he's got to prove it by winning, at key times during the season. A game that really stands out to me is the Denver game at home. And Chris Harris Jr., pick 6. Fourth quarter, like I said, he threw costly interceptions early in games and late in games that cost them the playoffs this year.
Is there any doubt, in your opinion, that he's the right guy to build around as your quarterback?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You're not going to find another guy at this point. It's now, he took a giant step from year 1 to year 2. Now he has to take another giant step to get up into that elite status. He's in that status where he's a good quarterback. He makes mistakes. He's like a Jay Cutler. He can make every throw on the field, but he will also screw up a bunch of throws and, throw it to the other team. So, does he learn from that going into year 3? Next year is going to be a very big year for Derek Carr.
Well, the Chiefs got a heavy dose of Latavius